Good afternoon. Am I audible, please?
Good afternoon, Lamin. Yes, you're audible.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a singular honor and pleasure to be here with you today in this very interactive and educative session. My name is Lamin Kamara, the Director of Research and Diplomacy for Peacepedia, and also the country representative of Peacepedia here in the Gambia. As we all know today, our main topic of discussion is beyond the degree, and it says skills every young professional needs. We have two very wonderful guests here who are going to be our speakers. The first is Mr. Soltis Sugumaran from Malaysia, and also our another speaker is Dr. Priyanka from India. I hope I'm pronouncing their names well. These are going to be our speakers for today. And shortly before we start the session, before the introduction, Peacepedia is an organization that has been working tirelessly hard to unite young leaders in bringing, in educating people in peace building, education, technology, and we have gone a long way. And our activities are well known worldwide because of we have expanded. Looking back at our activities years ago and where we are now, we have seen improvement in participation. We have seen the numbers growing, and it's a very important thing for you guys to know what we have been doing and what we have been going through. So I'll start with this first speaker for him to kindly introduce himself, Mr. Soltis Sugumaran from Malaysia.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So good day, everyone. So my name is Sutesh Sanasugbaran. So I'm 24 years old. I'm a student of Bachelor of Business Communication with English at University of Malaysia Kelantan. So I'm a degree student right now. So I'm also a graduate of diploma from Hukum Polytechnic in diploma in retail management. So currently I'm in 4th year. So I'm studying at Kelantan, UMK, specifically at UMK. So I'm also a part of a student representative council at our university. So where I'm a treasurer and also executive of entrepreneurship in student representative council. So, and I'm from Penang, Malaysia. So it is a very nice state in Malaysia. So if you guys have any chance, you can just come over here. So Penang is just a nice place. So I think that's all from me.
All right. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Now, Dr. Priyanka from India, you can kindly take the floor, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. And I welcome you wholeheartedly. So glad you could all join us today. So I am Dr. Priyanka Bhattacharjee, currently as an Assistant Executive Director at Peacepedia. And by profession, I'm an economist and an educator. I lead the school head for academics and administration at one of the most reputed schools pan India in by the name of DAV Public Schools. Along with that, I hold multiple hats in policy oriented research as a part of research and development, associate researcher with Heimdall Wire based in London, Madrid, and Chile. And at the same time, I also work as a senior vice president, learning and development with a consultation named as Gift Consulting. in India, and I am also heading the School Health and Wellness Ambassador Program certified under UNESCO, being also as a School Innovation Ambassador from the Ministry of Education, India. To top it all, I am from India, New Delhi, India, and just 6 days back, we have celebrated our 80th Independence Day here. So, thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, that's all from my side as of now. Looking forward to the session. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doctor, for that wonderful introduction. I think we this session will last us for only 1 hour, and there will be a question and answer session during the closing event. Then we will start with our first speaker to make his deliberation, Mr. Sudesh from Malaysia.
So I would like to share my slide about this topic. So give me some time. So I believe that everyone can see my slide right now. So give me some time. I need to set up the time. Okay, all right. So good day, everyone. So first of all, thank you for having me here today. So I would like to talk something that I personally believe, which is very important for every young person, especially like me, who's always preparing to enter the working world. So our today's topic is beyond the degree, skills that every young professional needs. So basically, a degree is important. Yeah, and our CGPA is important. Our academic knowledge is important. But the degree can only open the door. But the skills that we have can determine what happens after the door open. So we can have a very good qualification. We can have excellent grades. We can have a beautiful resume. Sorry. So, but if you cannot communicate with people, if you don't know how to build a relationship with some of your classmates or even people that you met during a program, or if you refuse to learn new things, if you don't know how to present yourself, and if you never take opportunities to gain experience, then the degree itself may not take us very far. Because these skills, I believe these skills are things that we can develop eventually day by day. We don't need to be born confident first. Secondly, we don't need to be naturally good at networking. Second, third is we don't need to be know everything about AI, which is quite advanced nowadays. We don't need to be most experienced person in a room. So let's say if it's a meeting or any conference or in any context. So we don't need to be a most experienced person, but we just need the willing to learn something new. So today I'm going to share. Hello. Um, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, you are audible. We are hearing.
Okay, all right. So today I'm going to share five skills and qualities that I believe every young professional should start developing. So the first is communication. Number two, which is second, is networking. Third is continuous learning and also additional certification that we must have eventually. Fourth is personal presentation and confidence. And fifth is being active and gaining experience, especially during our university time. So the first, communication. For me, communication is probably one of the most important skills that young professional or any student or any young person that can have. But it is also that something that people are lack nowadays. People are being struggled today. We communicate every day. We WhatsApp people, we send emails, we post on Instagram, we use TikTok, we attend meetings, we join group discussions, we present assignments, we talk to lecturers, we talk to friends. Wait, give me a minute. Settings. Okay. So we talk to friends. So we might think, I'm already communicating. So why do I need to improve? So I think that that question will be raised in everyone's mind. But communication is not about it's not simply about talking. Communication is about being understood. So there is a difference, a big difference between speaking and communicating. So we can just talk for 10 minutes, but still fail to deliver the key message or the message that we want to deliver in the meeting or in any context. We can have a lot of knowledge, but fail to explain it. We can have a good idea, but fail to convince other people. So we can take, so I'll give you an example. So we can just take the workplace. So we can imagine, so there's a two employees. Employee A is extremely talented, very smart, very knowledgeable. But when there is a meeting, this person doesn't know how to explain his ideas. When communicating with clients, the message is unclear. And also when writing an email, it sounds very rude or very confusing. And there is an employee B. Employee B may not be the smartest person in the room, but this person knows how to speak, how to listen, how to explain, how to negotiate, and how to communicate with people with different personalities. I believe in a meeting or in any context, there will be a lot of person with different personalities. So, who do you think people will remember? So it is pretty clear. People will remember employee B because people don't only remember what we know, but they remember how we make them feel, how we effectively work with them, how we feel them included in the meeting or in any context. So communication is more than speaking. So we have, as we can see here in the slide, there are several parts of communication that we can develop eventually. The first is speaking. So we must learn how to introduce ourselves, explain an idea, how to speak in front of people, ask questions if there is any meeting or any conference or any program. We must learn how to ask questions. We must volunteer to speak in front of crowd. We must join discussion. And I believe the more we do it, the more comfortable we become to communicate or speak among peoples. So second is listening. sometimes we think communication means talking a lot. Actually, one of the best communication skill is knowing when to stop talking and also when to listen. So when someone is speaking, so we just take an example of a lecture hall or in any meeting. When someone is speaking, we don't immediately think what we going to say next. We must listen and also understand the point that that they want to convey, and we must ask questions, and we must, let's say if there's any questions that are being asked to us, so we must respond to it appropriately. So third is written communication. So written communication is extremely important in a professional life or in any corporate world, I would say. So we will write emails, we will write reports, we will send messages to the managers, we will communicate among clients through WhatsApp or other. So let's say if it's a formal context, we will communicate with clients through email. And one badly written message can create a completely different impression and can create a bad impression of us and also the company that we are working with. So I'll give you an example. So this is just a simple example. So I'll give you two sentences. First sentence is we just wanna okay. So the situation is we just wanna ask the document with among the peers or among the clients or anything. So the first situation is we just send me the document, and the second sentence is hi. Would you please share the document with me when you have a moment? Thank you. So it is the same purpose, but complete different feeling that we are conveying to the others. So we must learn to communicate professionally. So here's a challenge for those who are attending. So we have like around 13, 15 people, I guess. So this is challenge. I want everyone here to try to try. So for the next 30 days, speak to one new person, sorry. So one new person every day. So it can be anyone, it can be a classmate, it can be a lecturer, it can be a senior or someone at an event or someone we don't normally talk into. So let's say, I believe here we have most of them are working in a corporate field or someone who are already working. So we can just have a conversation. We can ask a simple question. We can introduce ourselves. Let's say we don't know them, so we can just introduce ourselves or have a conversation or we can just have a simple greeting with them. Because I believe being confidence doesn't come from thinking. Like we just thinking like one day I'll become more confident. But confidence is come from being uh, doing something repeatedly until it becomes a normal thing for us. So we can move to the next point. Moving on to the next point, which is networking. So when I say networking, some people immediately think like I'm very shy. I don't know how to approach people. I don't like talking to strangers. Um, uh, I don't know how to even initiate a conversation. I understand, but let me tell you something. Networking that I mentioned here is not about like collecting. So let's say we go to any event. It's not about collecting business cards like from everyone. It's about building a relationship with each another. So during the university life, we may think like our classmate is just a classmate, but 5 years, moving from 5 years from now, they could be a manager, they could be an entrepreneur, they could be a government officer, they could be a consultant, lecturer, a company director, a recruiter, or someone working in an industry that we want to enter. So we don't know, like we don't know how or where the people are going to end up. So we must start to build a networking simply from starting from our classmates or with those we are with those from, I'm sorry, we must build networking with those we are meet during programs. So today we feel like that person that person is just another participant that we meet in a program, but we don't know about tomorrow. That person may be the person who can recommend us for an opportunity. So networking is not just like we knowing someone, and also we must don't we I'm sorry, we must also do networking to like how to say, don't just do a network because we just want something from someone. Okay. So let's say I'll give you an example. So you just meet someone in a meeting or during any program. So you just don't go and simply ask, can you give me a job? So instead, we can just introduce ourselves first, like, hi, my name is Satesh. It is nice to meet you. And we can just simply connect with them with social media like Instagram or WhatsApp, or even we can connect with them with LinkedIn profiles, which will be helpful for us in future. So simple, build the relationship first. Build the relationship with the person that we met, because the networking can teach you some things. We can learn about different careers, different and industries. We can have a lot of knowledge from them. We can get internship opportunities, opportunities, and we can also get a different perspective of the others. So the networking is not only for the extroverts. So let's say we have like introvert. If you are an introvert, so don't just use the introvert as an excuse. So let's say we went to any program, we no need to talk to the 50 people over there. We just need to talk to two people and talk to them properly, and connect with them, as I mentioned just now. Connect with them like you can simply connect with them to in LinkedIn, Instagram, or any other social media platform. So follow up with them. So once the event end, follow up, sends a message like give a greeting, like hi, it was a nice meeting. I really enjoyed our conversation. So this is where the relationship begin. And remember, the networking that I mentioned just now is not just who you know, it's also who knows you. You want people to remember, we just simply want people to remember us as someone as reliable, helpful, professional, friendly, and hardworking, and someone who contributes. So the reputation the reputation and the impression that we create during our meeting or during our networking time will be extremely valuable later in our career. So let's say in future we get to know someone from a program. Who knows, in future he become a manager or recruiter. So we can just simply contact them to have any opportunities, like let's say if I'm looking for any work, so we can just simply contact them to get any job or work opportunities. So moving on, third is additional certificates. So this is something important, I would say. Continuous learning. The additional certification is um, not just like we just enter a program or enter any courses. It is a continuous learning, I would say. So let me ask you, how many of you are currently learning something outside of your university, or even during your working time. So is there anyone currently learning something outside your working or university syllabus? I guess mostly we are busy with all our university things or all our work. So it's okay. Um, um, I want everyone to start thinking about it because the world that we are working is changing very quickly. First, technology is changing. Second, industries are changing. Third, job requirements are changing. And especially with AI, which are becoming more common nowadays, the skills employees look for today may not exactly the same skills that people were looking 5 years ago, because nowadays everyone is depending more on AI. So imagine we just graduate with just a simple or one degree and we apply for a job, and another candidate has a similar degree, but that person also has an AI certification, digital marketing certificate, data analysis skills, project management certification or communication training certification, leadership experience. So we can see who stands out in the meet in the job interview. So your degree or the degree that we are learning or that we are getting is get us to the competition, but additional skills that I mentioned just now can help to stand out from the competition. So as I said just now, don't just collect certificates just for the sake collecting them. So don't just enter the program or and do any certification just for the sake of collecting them. Um, don't just become a certificate collector. So what matters is, can you actually use the skill that you learn from the certification? So let's say if you take an AI course, use the AI. If you learn Canva, create something new. If you learn Excel, Microsoft Excel, analyze something. So if you learn digital marketing, run a small campaign. So let's say if you learn public speaking, volunteers to speak in a conference or anything. Don't just say I have a certificate. So let's say in a meeting or if there is any job interview, don't just say I have a certificate. So you can say I learned this skill. So let's say I mentioned just now digital marketing. So let's say we take digital marketing certificate. So we can just say I learned the skills about the digital marketing, and here's how I used to it. So this is much more powerful than we just simply say I have a certificate. So we don't need to learn everything. We just need to look at the industry that we want to enter. So just so you can see me myself, I'm a business communicator. So I must take something that relatable or something that can be an added advantage for my digital for my degree certification. So let's say I can take digital marketing. I can take certification about AI, Canva, which is something related to my field. So moving on to the next point, personal presentation. So this is something that people underestimate sometimes. So people sometimes tend to underestimate how they present themselves. So the way they present ourselves is not just simply about wearing the clothes, wearing a nice clothes, or wearing a blazer when we enter any event or going to any program or something. So it's how we carry ourselves, with our appearance, the way we groom ourselves, our body language, our confidence, our attitude, and even something simple as how we smells is very important, since I believe first impression is actually very matters. So let's see. So let's take an example. We walk into an interview. Our clothes are messy, and our hair are not properly groomed, and we look very uncomfortable. We don't make an eye contact. We speak very softly. We, how to say, we don't look confident. Okay, we don't look confident. So before we even explain our qualification, we already creates a bad impression with the interviewer. So just imagine, we walk in to the interview spot, we well groom, we dress properly, uh, appropriately, you smile, we greet the interviewer, we make an eye contact, we speak properly, we speak clearly, and the interviewer can just simply know that we are well prepared. So this create a very good impression of us with the interviewer. So last point I would say is be more active in the university. So personally, I believe this is one of the most important things that students should take advantage of. So they must be more active during university, since university is not just about attending classes, completing assignments, sitting for examinations, but university is also a training ground for the real world. So we must join programs, join clubs, join societies, join any volunteer programs, participate in competitions, attend conference, become a facilitator. So let's say if there's any program, we must become facilitator, become MC, organize events, and we must try things that we feels or makes us uncomfortable. Why? Because each and every activities that we are joining will teach us something. So let's say imagine we join an event as an event we join an event as a committee. So we can learn how to build a teamwork, how to communicate with people, how to properly manage our time, how to do problem solving, how to lead the team, how to manage the event, how to do networking, how to be responsible. And these are things that we can not learn from the textbook. So this advice I would so let's say if I met my any juniors, so I will this I will give this advice to them. Don't join every or any program just to put that in your resume. So then don't chase your position just because you want to write that thing in the resume. So ask yourself, what did I learn? What you want to contribute? What problem did I solve? What experience did I gain? So because during an interview, the employer might ask, tell me about your leadership experience. Since we already have listed down all the experience in the resume, so the interviewer will ask us like, tell me about your leadership experience. So don't just say, I was a committee member. Tell them the story. Like during the university time, I was involved in the event, and just tell them in a story like what problem that you face, what problem that you face and how you overcome it, and people or the interviewer can really know what is your real potential that you can really do. So university is something or something or a safe place for us to fail. So let's say we can make mistakes, we can try something new. So let's say if it doesn't work, we can learn, we can try again, and eventually we can become better. uh, I believe once we enter the workplace, mistakes are considered a bigger consequences for us as an employee. So use the university as a practice ground. If you're, let's say, if you're scared of public speaking, join an event, become an MC. So let's say if you are shy, attend the networking events. So let's say if you don't know how to lead, join the volunteer programs, or just volunteer to lead any small project. Just start something from small, something small. So bringing all this together, I believe um, okay. So I think that's the main five things that I wanted to convey today. So bringing up everything together. So let's go back to what we have taught today. Totally, we have like 5 points that I explained just now. Number one is communication. So we must learn how to speak, listen, and express ourselves professionally. Second is networking. Build genuine relationship, since we never know where the connection that we are making can lead. Number three is continuous learning. Don't just stop developing yourself after getting the degree or or even enter the workplace. Learn something new and relevant skills. Fourth is personal presentation. Dress appropriately, stay well groomed, smells good, carry yourself confidently, and makes a very good impression. So number five is be active. Don't just waste your university years by just attending the classes or and doing the assignments. Join programs, take opportunities, volunteer, and gain the real experience by joining the programs. And if you remember that thing, if you remember nothing else from my talk today, just remember this. Your degree tells what you studied. Your skills tell people what you can do. Your character tells people who you are, and your experience shows people what you are capable of. So before I end my speech, I want to leave with a final thought, which is many young people are waiting out there, waiting until they graduate, waiting until they get a job, waiting until they become confident. But the truth is, you don't need to wait. You don't have to wait, sorry. You can start today, talk to someone new, learn something new, attend any program, volunteer something new, build your network, and slowly you will become a different version of yourself. So I think that's all from me. Uh, Thank you so much, everyone. It was a pleasure speaking with all of you today.
All right, thank you very much for that insightful presentation, Mr. Sotesh. So I'll have the singular honor to welcome Dr. Priyanka from India. Doctor, you can take over.
Thank you so much. I'm just waiting for Mr. Satish to take off the presentation so that I can share mine. And I congratulate Mr. Satish for sharing such an insightful session with all of us. So can we have a very big round of applause for Mr. Satish as well? Yeah, thank you so much. So, as I've just observed for the last couple of minutes, and I've been hearing it so well, Mr. Sutesh did present uh, and touched on various important topics as far our session's main caption goes as well. So I will not take you to those things repeatedly, but yes, there would be certain parts where it might be something that is relevant and aligned with what Mr. Sutesh has shared by now, because this topic is again a very important and it's quite close to my heart, since I'm also working with the education sector for the past 15 years and I know that how this goes. So let me just present my slide in front of all of us. There might be some issues. Let me just check. I'll just take one moment from you. I don't know why it's not getting shared. Thank you for understanding. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so this is what we are working with, and this is just a quick question on the table, and this is what our session is all about as well. That a degree tells the world where we have been, and skills decide where you can still go, right? So, with this, I would like to first again welcome you, everyone. So, while you have already arrived here, and I would first like to also know that you can, if possible, in the chat box, put your name and your country and one word for what you do alongside what we even share, because this is a kind request to everyone, and I mean it literally. Please do find a pen and something to write on, not your phone, actually, a paper, because you will use it twice today, and one of those times you'll keep what you have written for years. So, this is a working session and not a lecture, right? So, I again repeat the pen instruction. So, read, if you can, share your names along with what you do in the chat box. I'll be glad to read it out. And thereby, I would like to show you uh, what we will be doing in today's session, right? So, since it is already displayed in your screen that a degree tells the world where you have been, but the skills decide where you can still go. So, most sessions on this topic hand you a list of skills, right? I want to do something different because a list is a fish and you are here for the net. Today, you just get the reasoning that generates the list so that you can regenerate it yourself in maybe 2028 or again in 2032 without even me there, right? So, this is your positioning one. And now, as you can see, that the number 39% of core job skills will change by 2030. What does this data mean to you? This data. Anyone? I would be very glad if you can share a word or something in the chat box as well, because as I said, this is not only a lecture method, and I don't prefer anything having my perspective only. I would like to know your perspective as well, because that is how we should be knowing each other's points and at the same time even tend to implement and come and reach a common goal, right? So Anyone coming up with anything? Okay, still not getting any points. So, what I just wanted to say here, this entire session that we are holding here, I want to just structure it in few sentences. Number one, and if it would be better if this can be also jotted down, or maybe it can be, I know the AI is also taking some notes while in this session, and might be it can be shared as well. But still, I guess certain things give us more importance if we write it down, because it, as we have already read earlier, this is fine motor skills for us as well. And as we grow older, we understand that this is also one of the very important part. If we start writing, it actually connects our hand and mind together, right? So with that in mind, in this session, we are going to present the idea of two-fifths of the skills people are generally hired for will change within 5 years. Work is actually not disappearing, it is relocating, and nobody lives inside a net figure. Knowing this changes nothing, because three well documented biases stands between knowing and doing. You must have heard about Ricardo, who's famous, since I'm from the background of economics. Ricardo's famous topic of and model was comparative advantage. He settled the underlying question in the year 1817. You never needed to be better at everything, only to know your opportunity cost is lowest. I repeat, David Ricardo, the ideator and the founder of the model of comparative advantage, you can please Google it for yourself. He settled a very important underlying question in the year 1817, saying that you never needed to be better at everything. You only need to know where your opportunity cost is lowest. So, in this regard, sort your own week into three columns and find out where you actually stand, right? And in these three columns, three is not the softer one. It's precisely what employers cite the most, right? And also, write one 7 day commitment before you leave, because written commitments get kept. And I say this aloud, this is accountability, right? So, this is something, if you can see in the slide as well, work is not disappearing. This is a graph which is being shown as per the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Report 2025. Accordingly, you can just see for yourself that most of we see that might be the figure is positive 78 million, but a net is an average and no one lives inside an average, right? So this is something where we say that in the upcoming years, the work is going to move, not disappear. The global market shift happens by the next 2030s, millions of jobs, right? And yet, why knowing the number is not enough? This is the part where most future of work sessions skip, right? What is the present bias? The cost of learning is today. The benefit is in 2029. We discount 2029 steeply. Sunk cost thinking. I, s- I say like a word or a statement. I paid for this degree, so I must build on it. When you pay for something now, you bound to do it. Let me give you an example. Someone says that I'll be doing exercise every day at my own home, at my own freedom, at my own conditionalities. But this won't be keeping up and be kept up for long. The reason is there is no accountability, there is no push, there is no motivation. But yes, if you have joined some gymnastics, if you have joined some maybe gym workout sessions or something and you have paid a hefty amount, or maybe you hired a personal trainer for yourself, you are going to basically think about this. I paid for this, so I must build on it. So that's how basically human minds work, right? We are bridging the gap between what? The human intelligence and the emotional intelligence as well. Then doing nothing feels safe because its risk is invisible. It arrives slowly and without a date, right? Now, as we discussed, what is this comparative advantage? Let me explain this theory. This idea is by David Ricardo. The theorem: even when one party is better at producing absolutely everything, both parties still gain when each specializes where its opportunity cost is lowest. So that's how I did actually explain. You do not need to be better than the machine at anything ever again. You need to know what you give up least by doing it yourself, right? So there is a machine for it, and that's where we talk about the AI as well. So absolute advantage is lost, but comparative advantage is not. So let's make a comparative analysis between the machine and you. A machine drafting a first report, let's say 20 pages in a minute, structurally competent. Whereas you, 2 pages in an hour and you resent everyone. Let's say I do it with the basis of difference as judging which finding matters. Go on to the machine, it is fluent, confident, and occasionally wrong in ways it cannot detect. Whereas you, slower and accountable. You know the school, the ward, the room, the workplace, everything. Next, telling a family the result. The machine, no standing to do it at all. Whereas you, the only party you who can. So just stop asking what you're better at. Ask what you give up least by keeping. Right? The machine already does this better. Hand it over. Every hour you defend here is an hour you lose. Better with the machine than without. Your leverage zone, this is where your output multiplies fastest. But talking about when only a human belongs here, your comparative advantage, everything is worth building here, sits here, right?